All right, well, a lot of us have been seeing advertisements for these things here recently, and well, I bit. Looked it up on Amazon, found it for, I think this one was like 17 bucks. And I figure I'm gonna take a look at it. I'm gonna see if it even works in my Excursion, since I have dash cams in the ID4 and in my Cadillac. So I'm gonna see how this thing works, if it actually attaches to my mirror, and whether or not it'll hold my phone. So let's see. So it comes out of the box in three parts. This goes on the mirror, then there's the arm, then there's the phone holder down here. So let's put it together and see how it works. Okay, so here it is all put together. There's some little notchy things that go back here. Make sure that that pin goes through with those notchy things are actually lined up. Down here at the bottom, this little clip, you click that, then it will extend. And then down here. So, not too bad. Let's see how it fits on the Excursion, whether or not it does on this big mirror. And I don't know, that mirror is pretty thick. It's one of those LCD filled mirrors, so we'll see if that actually works. Okay, so that goes on there. It does fit, looks like. Probably need it. Maybe push those back a little. There we go. Oh, that's better. And then that. Yeah, there we go. And these have just little notches in them, so you just press them in where they grab. So let's see, that seems to work. So we'll try a little driving video with it and we'll see how the vibration is. We'll try it in different locations and such. And we'll see how it goes. Here's some video from that mount from my rearview mirror. And these are some pretty bumpy roads, so we'll see how it handles the shakes, whether or not it moves my mirror. I got my mirror set right. Because that was one concern I had, is that if you had a really heavy phone, something like that, it might actually move the mirror and take it out of adjustment. So right now, some of these bigger bumps hadn't moved it at all, so that's a good thing. I don't know how shaky that video is, though. I think it's probably pretty rough. But again, this is the rearward facing camera on an iPhone 11. So I'm using a little bit older tech. It might not have as good an image stabilization as maybe an iPhone 13 or something like that. So this should be a fairly decent representation of the kind of video that you should expect out of this particular mount facing in as kind of a blog type camera. And what we'll do is we'll have this running for a little bit just to see, you know, what the shakes are, what the jello factor is, you know, how bad the shakiness of the video is. And then we'll turn it around and we'll use it as a quote, you know, dash cam type of thing and see if it's usable. I mean, I'm sure it's fine, because you really don't need to be able to identify the swirl marks on the car in front of you to see whether or not they were at fault in an accident. So, I mean, you know, super high quality video forward wise as a dash cam use maybe isn't necessary, but if you're using it for something that maybe people are going to want to see, like I've done a couple of videos where I've taken long trips and I've pointed the dash cam out forward and just kept it running for the entire trip, you know, like from, you know, San Antonio area to Nashville, or San Antonio area to Disney for that matter. And that's kind of important that the camera doesn't shake and give all that jello, because a lot of times I'll speed that up, because I mean, that's a 14-hour drive. So, you know, having camera jello and then sped up one or two times, yikes, that might not be a pleasant experience to go ahead and watch. And I don't know if you hear the air compressor kicking in the back, but that's the air level suspension for my, again, this is a tow rig, so I've got the airbag assist in the back, for you know, leveling out the suspension if I'm carrying a heavy load or something like that. So we'll see. You know, these are city streets. We put it up on the highway, and we'll get highway video, and we'll see, you know, how she does as far as, you know, quality of video, and see whether or not she shakes too bad. And she looks pretty shaky to me, but you know, I'll have to look at the video later, maybe on a big screen, so that I can really see how bad it is. But I mean, the mount seems to work pretty good. It's pretty easy to get set up. All the little knobs and turny deals to lock things down in place. So, I mean, as far as that goes, it's a pretty neat little gadget. And if it provides decent forward video, I'd say it was a win for me, because I mean, I could use it if it's got decent forward video. So I'll tell you what, we're gonna pop it up here and get it facing forward and see what the forward facing camera records. And hopefully it's nice and clean, nice and steady, but I don't know. I mean, that seems like an awful long moment arm for a lot of torque on the fulcrum and all that good stuff. So I don't know. It will impress me if it keeps it from just shaking into oblivion. I will be impressed if it does that. But, well, I mean, that may be more of a function of the phone too. Mirror at all, so I mean, I guess that's a plus. We're rolling here at about 55, and this is pretty smooth road, so I think on this road I can get it up to either 65 or 70, so we can see whether or not this big excursion is going to shake her loose. We'll back it down to 50 here, according to the speed limit. That's funny, seeing a Tesla at a gas station. But I guess you got to go somewhere to get your lottery tickets, right? Your redneck retirement plan. Let's see. All right, so this is 63 miles an hour. Rough road, so that should give you an idea on whether or not you can use this as a dash cam. So not too bad, not great, but I guess we'll see once we see the video just exactly how bad or shaky it was. But I look forward to seeing it myself, but of course y'all already know. So there you have it. That's the amount of jiggle that you're going to see out of that particular hanging phone mount. So if it's acceptable to you, I got a link down in the description. You can get it. The one that I got down in the description, I think it's 17 bucks on Amazon. I mean, prices are going to change, I'm sure, you know, as demand goes or stock sells out or whatever. But the one I bought was 17 bucks. That's the link I've got in the description. If you want to see it, you want to use it, be my guest. And know that this particular video was shot with an iPhone 11. So as long as the camera stability is as good or better than the iPhone 11, you're going to see as good or better results from your particular mount. So enjoy. And of course, if you're just using it for like a map mount or something like that, those are pretty easy to read even when they're kind of bouncing and jiggling around. So it's all up to you how you use it, but it seems to work. It hasn't moved my mirror no matter how much bouncing it's done, and this Excursion is not the smoothest thing on the planet. So if anything's going to get that mount to move or jiggle or shake or whatever, it's going to be this big Excursion. So y'all have fun, and if you're going to crash into that like button and subscribe for more. We'll be doing more shenanigans. If this thing turns out all right, I'm probably going to be using this mount. I might hook it back here to this TV, because I got this TV back here, you know, for entertaining kids in the back, and I ain't got any of those anymore, at least little ones. I got one older kid now, but might try that on there and see whether or not it'll fit, and maybe we'll get a whole dashboard look in 4K. But anyways, just the musings of some crazy old codger. So, like I said, if you're going to crash into that like button, subscribe for more, and we'll see you in the next one.